Hello, you lovely lot. Now, I've said this before, but Mark and I absolutely blooming love reading your comments on all our vlogs and films and trailers and everything on our YouTube channel. So we're going to regularly do this where we read out some of our favourite comments. And today, this is actually from our podcast that we obviously also show on our YouTube channel.
How to stay married so far.
That's right, my darling. And this one is about uncomfortable questions asked by
our stepdaughter.
Our stepdaughter, that was the title.
She's not my stepdaughter.
Yeah. So this was one of our podcasts and we got so many messages from it. Hey, Izzy. And this one was from Cara Edmondson. And she says, wow, that truly hit home. Thank you for doing this one. I'm stepmom to my partner's kids, but never feel that bond. We only see his kids 2 weekends a month. That's the same for us, isn't it, with Izzy? Love hearing.
It got less once the move had happened.
Love hearing how you've got through any issues, Nadia. It's given me so much hope that I'll have that bond one day. Once again, thank you. Oh, I hope so. To keep on trying, really, don't you? Keeping on. It's certainly not easy being a step-parent.
No.
It's not easy. It's hard work for the child and for the step-parent.
But it's more conscious hard work in a weird way for the parent because the child is just coping.
Yeah.
In a sense.
All up to the step-parent.
Okay.
I'm going to move over here because I'm going to get my cup of tea. Carry on. Do you want your tea?
Yeah, please. Yeah, this seems like so long ago. When was it that we did this one?
About 5 months, I think.
No, it's longer than that.
Was it?
Yeah, much longer than that. That was almost a year ago.
Is it?
God, you're filming my knee.
Sorry. You don't mind, do you, subs?
I think it's almost a year ago. But I do remember Izzy was really nervous and she did such a good job of it, so well done, Iz. And you took us very much by surprise with some of your questions. Anyway, so first comments from Gabriella Dean. So thank you for talking about this. I feel it isn't talked about enough, especially how hard it can actually be for the child, the step-parent, and also for the other parents involved. As a stepdaughter, I found it hard at the beginning to come to terms with having someone new apart of the family home, but I've never actually sat back and thought about how difficult it must have been for my stepdad to adjust and take me on because I almost came as part of the package.
Oh.
I can't thank my stepdad enough though, he's amazing and I really don't know what I would have done without him. It takes someone very special to be a step-parent like you are, Nadia. I would say that, and I'd say that I think Nadia talked about this. Are you going to be moving around like this all the time?
I'm just getting my tea. I'm listening.
I think Nadia, you know, I've watched from a very different place because I've obviously over the years, there's been a sort of almost childlike hope, desire and wish that it goes as smoothly as possible or that the relationship is as strong as it possibly can be. And of course, with all the will in the world, you can't control any relationships. They've got to just develop along their own natural course. And so, you know, there've been ups, there've been downs. In all of our relationships with each other, mine and Izzy's, Nadia's and Izzy, you know, it's like normal family relationships. And yet, you know, I think what Nadia's done, which has been very difficult, I think you've really achieved that thing of being a mum, but not trying to ever suggest you're replacing her mum.
Oh yeah, I've never been a mum. Yeah. I just don't think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Gabrielle.
Oh,
Love.
Gabrielle, that's so lovely.
Gabriella.
And I hope you show this to your stepfather. Butterfly Lexi 36 Aborn, there you go, that slips off the tongue. This is brilliant, and as a single mum of nearly 5 years, through fear of letting someone come into my boys' lives, this has given me a real insight into moving on with children to consider. Oh my God, that's so lovely. Can you imagine that? Oh God, I really hope, Butterfly, that has, Butterfly seems bizarre, doesn't it? Given you food for thought about moving on.
Sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly on this one. Aoife. Eofa?
Now, people are going to be very cross with this because this is an Irish name, and people tell us all the time how to say it, and I can't remember.
It's not like Saoirse, Aoife.
Oh God, this is
Aoife Mackenzie. Alpha Mackenzie. Another wonderfully insightful episode. I do not have children and still found this topic fascinating. Again, I only wish this would have been longer. Wow, do you? We think we go on.
God, I was worried.
An hour would have been perfect and allowed you all to have sufficient time to fully express and answer things. Brilliant work by Izzy. Well done to everyone for being so candid and genuinely brave, speaking of such deeply personal issues. I'm just interested and find the dynamic between Nadia and Mark lovely to watch, but I'm sure these help people struggling with similar situations. Well, I hope so.
Oh, what a lovely message, huh?
Yeah,
Kind.
really kind. And I do hope they help, because that's the point, really, isn't it? Sort of sharing comes from my experiences of AA, really, the idea that if you share a problem, other people can hook into, something similar in their story.
This one is from Leanne D, and she says, oh yeah, we like this. This is a showy-offy one. Look. Can I just throw it out there that Mark and Nadia's podcasts are some of the best on the internet. Proper real-life subjects talked about with compassion and clarity. Oh. Now, I can't do the rest of that sentence because this is a screenshot.
Oh.
But thank you for that, Leanne.
Heidi Hinter, Nadia, you're so insightful to have seen through the armour. I deeply appreciate knowing that some step-parents are able to see the child behind that protective facade. It was hard, wasn't it? I mean, is it, it's these kids...
Oh, I saw her straight away when Izzy came in. She was a bit grumpy and a bit like I think I said in the podcast the first time I met her, I said, come on, we're going to make cupcakes. I don't want to be fat.
Yeah.
Do you remember when she said that to me? And I thought, blimey.
And I remember with
Fleur, I knew it was just because she didn't know how to not be disloyal to her mum.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Fleur would often come in and not say very much, and that was her defence mechanism. So, it's really important that, having seen two girls deal with things very differently, how the child deals with coming into an alien situation and a potentially alien new parent. Some of them are going to go quiet. Some are going to possibly misbehave. Some are going to be precocious.
Well, just like adults.
But that's my point. That's my point.
If you think going into somebody else's home and just having to suddenly find your way to take a step. This is why I think it's better as a two-shot, you see. Promise you, it'd be better as a two-shot. Yeah, I agree. And also, I do worry that a lot of step-parents will make judgments of children based on the first 2 times they meet them. No one will make that first judgment on the first time they meet them, though they probably do. But they will definitely make a judgment on the first 2 or 3 times. You've got to be really aware that for the child, as an adult, you probably wouldn't walk into a situation like this yourself. Exactly.
So...
This is from Hina Singh. What an insightful and heartwarming video. So touching to see raw emotion from Mark that really got to me.
Aww.
You guys are all awesome. Thank you for sharing this with us. And thank you for sharing back, all of you, because, as I say, we don't get to answer all the comments, but we do read them all.
Hannah Wilson, we've got asked this quite a bit. Just wondering if you'd be happy to share some information about Fleur. Seems a shame talking about your other 3 daughters and not her. Also, do Fleur and Izzy have the same mum? No, Fleur and Izzy don't have the same mum. But we don't talk about Fleur out of respect for her, really, because she is a grown adult. She hasn't sort of been around. She's been at university for a while now, and she hasn't really been around as we've kind of done all of this sort of social media stuff.
Not her thing.
It's not necessarily her thing, and we wouldn't assume that we would talk about her without her feeling comfortable about it. But, she's a wonderful, wonderful girl, and we love her very much.
We'd love to do something.
We'd love to do something with Fleur if she wants to.
This one I chose for you, my darling. Mark is a wonderful dad. This is from... I haven't said who it's from. This is from Elaine Thomas, and she says, Mark is a wonderful dad. Quite right. He loves his other kids from the other woman because some men forget about their other kids to their ex when they meet someone else, and it's a shame when that happens. And Nadia is a great mum and stepmom. Well, actually, Elaine, I'm not that great.
Izzy's a great stepdaughter.
I'm all right, and Izzy's a great stepdaughter. I so wish my son's father and stepmother had been half as thoughtful as you two were. It's incredibly easy to get swept away with our own desires. They were both, however, so absolutely horrible to my son that he has now cut all ties with both his dad and stepmother. Oh, that makes me so sad. He's 21 now and refuses to speak to them or see them. Frankly and sadly, they deserve to be cut off. Very happy that you clearly have a loving relationship. That's from Renee Meckel. You know what I would suggest? And I hope I'm not out of order to suggest this. I read something today on Instagram, and it said something like, anger is the way we attack ourselves for somebody else's bad behaviour. I thought that was really good. Because we hurt ourselves when we stay angry, don't we?
Well, we do. We also do take others down too.
Yeah, and so I get it. There are some people that are just so dreadful, but I would suggest that even though your son has cut off ties and is angry, that will still be hurting him, you know. So maybe if there was any way that you could all reach out and have some kind of peace, it might make you feel better.
A top tip that I've got is for all children with a step or normal to help them deal with any parenting problem is to think of your parents as children. It's helped me a lot.
We always say that to the girls. We just say all we are adult children desperately trying to find the right answer to our questions.
Yasmin Asghari. This made me cry throughout as it's so close to home for me, and I think you have to be a pretty grounded person to be a good and fair step-parent. It can be a hard and complex situation. Love this and thank you. Wonderful step-parenting mother Nadia. Do you think it's helped that you are from a stable background yourself? Good question for you there. Does it help that you're from a stable background?
Probably. I think that the fact that I feel so blessed that my mum and dad are still together. They're in their 80s, they live next door, they still like each other, they still love each other. And I suppose when I saw Izzy coming in a little bit pale and a little bit shaky, and I just looked at her and thought, oh my God, that was me at that age, having to go and see my dad with another woman and all that. I would have been absolutely distraught, and yet she... Let's feel quite different.
It's funny because you still see some of that armour that someone just referred to. I think for the child, as a grown-up child of a step-parent, that armour's still there as well. They have to protect themselves. They have to. Oh.
It's funny because that's actually a while back now, that film, and being a step-parent and being a step-child, step-daughter or son, is an ongoing working relationship, really, like any other relationship. I mean, I would say I work daily on my relationship with Maddie and Kiki, and unfortunately with your stepchildren you don't get to see them all the time, so you can't work on a daily basis, but you know, you just have to keep on keeping on with it, just like every other relationship where you love somebody and they love you back. It's never just a breeze.
Well, there we go. Maybe the next time we do it, we should do it on a two-shot.
Comments made me cry.
Yeah, bless her. That's why she's such a good stepmom. And
No,
Izzy,
no, I'm
you're
not.
a beautiful stepdaughter.
I'm all right.
And Fleur, you're a beautiful stepdaughter. And our daughters are beautiful daughters. And I'm cherished and blessed to have you, all four of you. And I'm just as cherished and blessed to have this woman as your mum/stepmum. I don't see a difference, you see. For me, you're mum to all of them, for me.